Think for a moment. How many dreams die just because of fear? How many opportunities are lost just because of doubt? Fear is an illusion, a black shadow that weakens your steps. He comes up with 1,000 reasons to make you stop, to whisper that you're not good enough, not strong enough. But remember one thing, fear will fade, your heartbeat will slow, your breathing will return to normal, and the world will continue to turn. But regret? He is eternal. He will hide in your mind, haunt your nights, whisper, if only. Every time you see someone else succeed in a step you didn't dare to take before. How long are you going to submit to fear? How long are you going to let fear steal your life? If you don't act now, one day you'll look at yourself in the mirror, see empty eyes, and realize that the only thing scarier than failing is never trying. Rise, fight that fear, step forward even though you're shaking. Because in the end, it's better to endure the pain of struggle than to be haunted by regrets that you can never fix. Don't let your life become a graveyard of dreams. Look around you. How many people live in the shadow of regret? How many are stuck in a routine they hate because they used to be afraid to take risks? They smiled, but their eyes were empty. They breathe, but don't really live. Don't let that happen to you. If you're afraid of failure, remember this. Failure is a teacher, not the end. Every great person has fallen, but they got up. Meanwhile, those who give up can only watch and say, if only I had dared to try. Do you want to be a person who can only regret the past? Or do you want to be someone who stands tall and says, I have tried, I have fought, and I have lived with all my heart? Fear is temporary. The second you feel trembling, the day after tomorrow you will laugh at that fear. But regret, it will stick to you like shackles, chaining your soul for life. So now decide, will you let fear win, or will you tear it apart with courage? The choice is yours. Don't let one day you just sit in silence, regretting everything you never did. Don't be a slave to fear, be the king of your life. How many times have you put off something just because you were afraid? How many times have you let opportunities pass you by because the prospect of failure is bigger than your dreams? Come to your senses. Every second you spend in fear is a second stolen from your life. Fear makes you a slave to doubt, a slave to the voices in your head that keep saying, you can't. But I'll tell you something terrible. No one can save you but yourself. Nothing will come to pull you out of your slump. The world doesn't care whether you give up or survive. Time is running out, and every second can be the beginning of your struggle or the beginning of eternal regret. Rise. Face that fear with an angry gaze. Don't let it control your life like an ensnaring chain. If you want something, chase it. If you want to change, do it now. If you want to win, fight all doubts. Because one thing is certain, it is better to be hurt because you tried than to be forever tormented because you never dared. Don't let your life become a story full of if only. Be someone who can look back and say, I've done it all, I have no regrets. Life is yours, not your fear. Imagine one day you are lying in bed, old and frail. You stared at the ceiling, then memories from the past began to emerge. But not the memory of success, not about achievement. What appears is your scared face. The face that used to be too afraid to chase your dreams. A face that always says, later. A face that always avoids challenges because it is afraid of failure. And now, there's no time left. You're at the end of the journey, and the only thing left is the scariest question. Why didn't I try? Listen carefully. Today could be a day you regret later, or it could be the start of something extraordinary. But the decision is in your hands. How long will you live in fear? Fear is like a chain that binds your feet, holding you back from moving forward. But there is one secret you should know. The chain never really existed. It's just an illusion you created yourself. So, destroy it. Tear away that fear and step into the battlefield of life. You might fall, you might get hurt, but at least you'll know you fought. Better to die on the battlefield than live as a coward regretting every lost opportunity. Arise, Fight your fears. Chase the life you dream of. Because one thing is certain. Fear is temporary, but regret can be forever.